For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
I reached out to a bunch of people I hold in the highest regard today to say, hey, what do you think we should talk about? And most of what came back was pretty negative, guys. To highlight some of the things that came back, somebody we know well and respect, his exact words were, too many people holding shit coins but not selling them. Little maturity from new projects. Once regulation kicks in, many people will get even more right. He did go on to say on a positive that you really can't be going too wrong with BTC and ETH, and there will be new projects. But, you know, the overall sentiment at the moment seems very, very dark and negative.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, we're at emotional capitulation. This is the part of the market where everybody gives up. You know, there's kind of two parts to capitulation. There's price capitulation, and a lot of people pack it up and leave right there.
So fucking tired of this shit. Fuck this shit.
And then there's like this emotional, long crypto winter where people just, you know, emotionally die. And then you compound that with regulations and policy. So people get really tired. You know, the people from the previous cycle, they've never been through a bear market before. They don't know what it's like. Nobody really realizes that the most exciting time period of cryptocurrency is 4 months long, 6 to 4 months long. That's it.
A lot of people are mixing, or at least not explaining this correctly, that there's thousands and thousands of projects in the crypto space that are scams, and then there's thousands and thousands that are just flop nothing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, there are, I would say, more than a handful of projects that are legit, right? That have communities, not just communities, almost nations of people that support it, that have the technology, the squad, everything to prove that it's real. You know, they call them blue chip coins, and whether or not it will succeed all the way down the road like they hope it to, I have a harder time feeling the doom and gloom when we're talking about, like it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then some of the ones down the list below that. Sure, there's FUD, there's ups, there's downs, but like regardless of what's about to happen in the next couple of months before the bull run happens, I mean, don't we see stuff like Chainlink powering forward? Don't we see Cardano? I'm just trying to think of big names, right?
You know, you've had ABN AMRO, big Dutch bank. They're using the Polygon network for ESG, this carbon offset scenario.
There's quite a lot of ESG stuff on Polygon, actually.
There is. It's going to be a reality. And the fact that they are using blockchains for what's coming here, that's interesting.
Some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Isn't it funny that so many things that the crazy aunt, your lunatic friend who wouldn't shut up, they've proved to be correct?
I was right.
Maybe it's a good part of the show to look at a guy that I really rate. He's got a channel called Valuetainment.
Elites in the Davos World Economic Forum want to run everything and turn everybody else on the planet into a serf or peasant. Tucker said the World Economic Forum seems to exist to destroy national economies. Musk rips World Economic Forum unelected world government. Watch the book this guy wrote. The book's title is COVID-19, The Great Reset, written by Klaus Schwab. Ready for the release date? July 2020. Do you know when COVID shut down? Mid-March.
First thing, conspiracy theories, guys. I mean, he's highlighted many there that appear to have come to fruition. Where do you think the world's at, Jesse?
The people that are on the WEFs, like you say, the WEF, the Klaus Schwabs, the evil geniuses, the Bond villains, they're apparently saying, you know, there's going to be a great change. And then you talk to like the spiritual, earthly gurus, the ones that are all about love and peace, and they're saying there's going to be a great change. So, hey, all the humans, at least we're on the same page. There's always going to be a great change. Change is inevitable. It's how people react to the concept of a great change, how we adapt, knowing that it's not always going to be the same. Can we adapt for both our own, survival, but also to get around what's coming in terms of, stuff like these one world government potential police forces, all of that stuff. We, especially these crypto Bitcoiner type folks, these punks, have to adapt and be smart.
100%. There's so many more white hat people that want to defend humanity as opposed to the absolute shitbags out there. So I agree with your comment there, Jesse, that we're at a crossroads. I think the clock is ticking. I think we've got a matter of max 10 years to sort this out.
Good always prevails over evil. The problem is, I don't think people realize that they're trending towards evil yet. So they ask for help in the wrong places. So although I do think that good will prevail over evil, I think the people need to fall into the trap of evil first before they realize, oh shit, I got fucked. And we need to work fast in a Renaissance type environment to flip the script again.
What? Flip you. Flip you for real.
One of the other people that I really do admire, and she knows the space inside out. I asked her, what would you want to share with the audience today? And these are the headlines she sent me. And obviously the first one's a union in Detroit going on strike. And okay, I think it's about 13,000 people, but the ramifications of this are huge. And really what I want to highlight is, I'm very proud to have a grandfather that led many of the trade unions of my country. And I just think they're literally on a hiding to nothing now, these people. They've got X amount of money in that fund, but it would run out in about 11 weeks if you look at the article. That combined with the other headline about a potential governmental shutdown in the US on the 1st of October. And these are shocking things.
The elites are planning some sort of catastrophic false flag event on September 23rd, I believe, of this year. And I'm going to show you all the predictive programming that said that this is going to happen. In the Big Bang Theory, an asteroid strikes on September 23rd. In the movie This Is the End, on September 23rd is the rapture. In the movie Pandemic, an outbreak happens on September 23rd. Ghostbusters, Evil is released on September 23rd. In the movie Tomorrowland, disaster strikes on September 23rd. In the movie Little Shop of Horrors, humans are threatened by some sort of event that happens on, again, September 23rd. In the movie Knowing, a solar flare strikes on September 22nd and lasts till the 23rd. In the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, an asteroid strikes on September 23rd. Julie and Julia, meteor strikes September 23rd. In the movie Sleepy Hollow, dimensions open up on September 23rd. Now you get my point.
Before we sort of delve into other conspiracy theories, Blue, it'd be good, maybe you could comment on, the current market cap of gold and why maybe you think Bitcoin is better than gold.
Gold is a fixed market. There's a lot of paper gold out there. I think most gold is paper. It's IOUs. And this is...
It's total bullshit.
In short,
it's a house of cards. So first and foremost, why Bitcoin is better than gold is you can verify the ledger at any point. It's verified every 10 minutes. We know the entire supply of Bitcoin. That's never happened before, ever, with any form of money or anything. Like, we know the entire supply. There it is. It's right there. We just verified it 10 minutes ago and we're verifying it again. So that's one point on Bitcoin. What made gold special is it's hard money. Now, what hard money means is it's a medium of exchange that is hard to create. How do you create gold? You mine it. It's a bitch. It's little tiny flakes in the ground. You got to sift through the dirt. It's a fucking bitch to get gold. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's proof of work mining. It's intensely power hungry. It's a very power hungry process to get Bitcoin. So they're both hard. Now, the problem that gold ran into was divisibility. It's divisible by 1/100 millionth currently. With layer 2 solutions, it might be even more divisible than that. It's portable. It weighs 0 grams. It's a password in your head that you can cross borders with. Currently, typically speaking, you can't cross a border with more than $10,000 of US denominated cash. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can cross with $1 trillion in your head. there are many reasons why Bitcoin is better than gold. The only reason that it is not better than gold is it doesn't take a physical form. So that's always the default argument for the gold bugs. It's just like, well, you know, how good of an Armageddon asset is if the internet goes down. Yeah, fair. You know, if the internet goes down, Bitcoin sucks. I don't live in that reality where the internet goes down. Yeah. It could, and if it does, I don't have Bitcoin, and I'm gonna need to learn how to fucking be a shepherd or something. But that's a very, very different world, and I don't see that happening. I see a lot of friction and I see a lot of turmoil, but I don't see the internet going down. But yeah, so yeah, there's many reasons that Bitcoin is better than gold.
So, well, I mean, what are you guys doing at the moment to sort of keep yourselves mentally stable with the negative energy sort of popping around? What are you doing sort of financially to protect what you have? And
I thrive in this environment. I've been around long enough to know that when everybody's ready to fucking shoot themselves, I'm in the right place to be buying. So I'm just, you know, I'm waiting for a bit of a dip. I'm short Bitcoin, and I'm not net short. I just have a short trade on Bitcoin. I'm very, very, very net long Bitcoin. We're in the right place at the right time. This is it. You know, Everybody freaking out just makes me extremely confident for the future. Everybody is panicking, so I'm very happy.
The only thing I would be investing in at this point that's not Bitcoin would be gaming NFTs. So I would say that if you're one of the many people that Baloo just accurately described as panicking, freaking out, losing their minds, you want to shoot yourself in the head,
selling, waiting for lower prices to get in.
Yeah, if you're in that category at all, my suggestion would be back out of all movement in the crypto space and get your shit together. That ain't the mind state you need to be in. And you definitely want to be in the right mind state when we are back in that 4-month, 5-month period of pure elation, because that's the time when you need to be most in tune and able to avoid the emotional bubblings of what if, I should, maybe I shouldn't, what if, whether your goal is to take profits at the right time or whether your goal is to sell certain bags and get into, you know, more safe assets like Bitcoin. And whatever your goal is, the point is you should have a goal and you should be well prepared to, you know, actually come out of the next couple of years profitable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, this feels very, very similar to what roughly three and a half years ago was doom and gloom. You know, crypto was dead. No one wanted to talk about it. I think we got one more big hype train coming up. I really do. And
I believe that it's going to be the super cycle. And I know that that's the exact opposite of what anybody wants to hear or what anybody can even fathom right now. But I really
explain what you mean by
believe,
super cycle.
I think that all of the liquidity that left Bitcoin to go into altcoins is going to leave altcoins because of regulation and going to come back into Bitcoin. I think the reason that Bitcoin's last cycle was stifled was because paper Bitcoin on exchanges like FTX and 23,000 altcoins where the money could go elsewhere. I see with innovations happening on Bitcoin in the ordinal space and potentially drive chains, if that BIP is passed, all the liquidity is going to go back to Bitcoin. And that's going to create huge spot demand for Bitcoin. My price targets in that context is 400, 500, maybe even higher than $500,000 for the next price of Bitcoin. Wouldn't even be surprised to see $1 million, honestly, but then I just lose credibility saying stuff like that. But we're gonna have a big cycle.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously talking US dollar value here, and you know the other variable is that economy could implode,
the dollar,
and the dollar collapses. Yeah, which got to factor that into those sort of comments. But everything points to a global asset now. You know, we've covered this on all of our previous shows. You know, BlackRock are here, the big players are here. They clearly see that there is a need for a scarce global asset, and they're buying it. To sort of round this one out, I guess, from my point of view, there's so many variables at play here. It's I think people need that basic understanding of money. It's a trap. You know, the way these cycles work. I mean, this isn't new for us. You know, we kind of feel like, oh God, this is the worst time in history. No, it's not. You know, our parents had 20% interest rates. You know, fuel shortages. There's been many catastrophes. You know, as humans, we march on. And I think we need to sort of finish up with some positivity here. And I think from my point of view, you know, reach out to the people that mean something to you. Get out. Jesse, you said this to me the other day. Get out there and put your toes in the sand. Enjoy what's going on. Don't get stressed out. Don't read too many headlines.
To the people out there that just want to be making a safe bet, then I think Bitcoin is all you need to consider, and just drop everything else. Because I've met a lot of people recently who've been asking me, like, what is now the time? Is now the time? And I desperately want to tell them about opportunities of that I might personally be taking that are risky, but I don't. And I don't give them any advice other than put some money into Bitcoin. That's something that I've been saying to my friends. And
is that because doing that makes you understand finance and money and how the whole system works?
I think that I do think that once someone puts their own fiat currency into Bitcoin, it's when they start to have maybe more of a desire to look into what it means. Whereas if they are just researching it without putting money into it, there's this weird thing, like as soon as there's like a contract and you're invested in something, suddenly you have more desire to be a part of it. Even if you play poker, right? Like if you play poker for no money, it's not that fun. But then when you
stupid game,
yeah, then you put $1 or $10 on it, and holy shit, I really learned how to play poker. Now I'm not comparing the two, poker and all that, but there's similarities in here, and you got to have skin in the game. So make sure that you don't risk so much skin that you're skinless. But you know, get in there.
If you're watching this, you're good. If you're not too jaded and you're here right now watching this video, you're good, because everybody else has left. They've given up. They've convinced themselves that crypto is a scam, and they're not going to show back up until crypto's in the media again, and crypto's on the news channels, and it's on Saturday Night Live, and they'll buy the top again. If you're here now, today, and you are DCAing into anything, or you're doing research into anything, you're doing the right thing for your buys. The only advice I can tell you is, what do you need to see in the market for your sells? Think about the sells, think about the future. And, you know, that could be never selling, you know, just think about what you're going to do in the future. And Bitcoin should be, at least in my opinion, a 50% of your holdings, ideally 80% of your crypto portfolio. But, you know, we got a lot of degenerates out there that just won't even listen to that, but they might be willing to listen to 50% at this point in the market.
Let's march on. You know, it's a changing landscape on so many levels at the moment, but actually being able to own, you know, as we talked about before, maybe you can't afford a farm, but you can afford some Bitcoin, and you actually own that. You got to understand that, people. On that note, take control of yourselves. Please reach out to us with any questions you've got. We're here to help. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.